let's announce our next guest. Let's give it up for Casey Hampton and Louis Lips. Let's go now. Let's go now. Yeah.
Let's go.
Appreciate you. How are you? Thank you. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Casey, you look good. I know what everyone's thinking. Casey, where Casey Hampton look like that?
Hey, man, been doing a little something.
You look good. You look good. What'd you play at? Not to put
It was
you on the
always
spot, I'm
it was
hot.
always undisclosed. We didn't really talk about that too much.
So now that it was undisclosed, I told you already back there that I grew up watching you. Everyone here grew up watching. What was up with the conditioning test? Was that?
You just straight up like that.
Honestly,
I had to hit him hot with this.
I just feel like this, man. I feel like if it's a nose tackle in Pittsburgh that make him the conditioning test, he's not the right nose tackle for the job.
Hey, I like that.
That's
That's how I look at it, man.
I like
You know what
that.
I mean?
Yeah.
That's so true,
You
though.
didn't need to be running that test anyway. What the hell?
If I got to run more than 40 yards, we in trouble. they doing too much, man. They gotta get them on the ground back there. If I'm running 40 yards, man, something going on. That's too much for me to run. So why am I running that in the test?
Right. You're right. I had to come in hot with that question because I was wondering, because I just remember hearing Casey Hampton not doing the conditioning test. I'm like, he don't need to be doing it.
Hey, man, that wasn't my thing, man. Like I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna fight the man. I'm gonna do my thing on the line, but 10-yard burst, I got that for you. But 40, 50 yards, I can have that.
Well, I was reading some stuff, and I respect the hell out of that. And I also read that, you say that like no one man was blocking you. So like talk about the pride and like you being a nose in Pittsburgh for those defenses, the best defenses of all time, I think. Like talk about what it meant to be a part of those defenses and the pride it took to not letting one man block you. But you play a very unselfish position that I don't think a lot of people understand. So talk about that a little bit.
It was tough for me at first because coming out of college, I led my team in tackles my last 2 years. So that was my thing. So I made plays and things like that. So, but coming here, like you just seen how guys sacrificed, and it was more about the defense and the defense doing well. And they just came to me and been like, for the defense to work, you're going to have to eat up these blocks. It ain't your job to make tackles. It ain't your job to do this or that. And the defense doing good, and we have number one run defense, things like that. So I can't be mad, sacrificing for them type of results. You know what I mean?
Clearly, people saw that you were a 5-time Pro Bowler. That don't happen by mistake. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that. I mean, we don't really get that. We have that in locker room, but we don't get that often in our sport where people look at the grand scheme of things as a team. And that's a very unselfish position.
Well, I think that comes from it's just a Steelers way. Yep. You know what I mean? It's just you kind of groomed into it, you born into it, coming in. Those guys before me, like just all the guys are unselfish. Everybody's sacrificing. Yeah. Everybody can be somewhere doing their thing and making a lot more plays, but being here, you have to you got to hone in and do your thing, and it got to be for the good of the team. It ain't always be about you all the time. You got to understand that.
Makes sense why you have 2 Super Bowls, 5 Pro Bowls, and played 12 seasons. I mean, that's incredible. Louis, what's up?
What's up?
Thank you for coming. I've been reading up on you. My dad has questions for you. We got questions for you. But I sent you that text.
Uh-oh.
No, nothing bad. I got I was hitting on my research and, the return game. I sent a text to you.
Right.
I'm so interested to hear about the punt game and what it was like for you. I know you had a, hell of a career as a receiver, but I just got to open up with the special teams part of it. Like, what were the punters hitting? Like, did you have a marker you were lining? Because these guys are hitting 50, 55 yards, 60 yards now. Where were you lined up? How was the ball flying? I see I'm a specialist. This is weird. You're probably like, this
well, I mean, you do your homework.
Yeah.
You did your homework. We do our homework. So, some punters, like to spot kick it. Mm-hmm. Some of them just like to flat jammy blast it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when we playing a particular punter, then I already know where I got to be. Normally I'm at like 40, 45 yards.
Okay.
Basically.
Yeah.
Because the first thing I played for Chuck. All right, now, Chuck got his plan, and you got to run Chuck's plan the way Chuck wanted his plan run.
Yeah.
If you can't do that, then guess what? You ain't back there returning punts. The number one thing is, don't let the ball hit the ground.
That's number one.
Got me? So, I fielded 56 punts my rookie year.
You had the record for punt return yards as a rookie.
I fielded 56.
It's crazy.
I fair caught 3.
Wow, dude. That's a crazy
You got me?
stat.
So that's one of the reasons why my average was the way it was. I made the Pro Bowl my rookie year as a punt returner. And Chuck would always say, F the frickin' dancing.
Yeah, get upfield.
North and south. That's where you get the yard, north and south. And so Chuck came up with the plan and he was the one that initiated this from Jump Street. Now, this is 84 with the double bump on the flyers with 2 DBs on the one flyer.
I like that look.
Hold him up. Just hold him up. Hold him up 1 second. That's all I need. You know, because I'm casing. I'm watching. That's because I was born and bred like a baseball player.
You were tracking.
Yeah, so you're trying to catch a runner. And so I had a really good idea, like when that ball's coming down, that I'm taking off with it.
Yeah.
You know, and with them guys holding them up, now I got my pick of choice. You know, I got my routes. You know, one block here or there, I got 10 yards right off the bat, just like that.
And that 10 yards, people don't understand.
That's a lot.
It's a first down.
That's a lot.
That's
That's
the
a lot.
defense is fighting for. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So did you, when you got drafted in Pittsburgh, first round, both of you first round, which is crazy. You guys can kind of, we're going to be up here when the Steelers make their picks, so I know you guys can relate to that feeling and what that felt like. But when you got drafted to Pittsburgh, you know, Southern Miss receiver, obviously you returned in college. Did you expect to come in and return too, or what was that mindset like as a rookie coming into Pittsburgh?
Well, I don't know if a whole lot of people, I don't know how much research you've done on me. So my whole 4 years in college, how many catches did I have?
Oh, you're hitting me now. 700 something?
Yeah, right. I had 94 catches.
I guess.
In 4 years.
Whoa.
So I know damn well they didn't draft me to receive.
Wow.
They drafted me for punt returns. I worked my way into the lineup.
That's crazy.
Busted my ass to get in that lineup.
As a receiver.
That's right, as a receiver. And you know who I had in front of me, guiding me?
Stalwart.
John Stallworth.
How was that?
Man, what a hell of a teacher, man. I'm telling you. He made it look so easy. Wow. You know, you always say you can't be like him.
Yeah.
I was trying to be like him, but I was being like him in my own way. That's what made me different from him, and that's why me and him gel so good. You know, he was super finesse, super smooth. I mean, he could shake anybody, man. He could shake anybody. And so I'm like, man, I want to do that. And he says, here, this is what you got to do. So me and him, we were roommates.
Oh, wow. So you got lucky.
You got a 10-year veteran rooming with a rookie.
They did that on purpose.
Who does that?
Steelers.
Purpose.
Correct. Yeah.
I found this out after I retired, man. Didn't realize that at the point.
Yeah.
And he groomed, man. So we're at training camp. I'm in Bonaventure Hall. We're at St. Vincent's. And I'm in my bed, man. I'm looking at my playbook like this. He looks at me like, what the hell are you doing? I said, I'm trying to memorize my plays.
He laughed at you.
He said, no. That's not how you do it. He said, man, look. He said, when they call a play, you got to know what you're doing. And then when you go in that huddle and you break that huddle, when you go out there and you run that route, he said, you know what you have to be? By yourself when that ball get there. Forget the 14 yards, the 10 yards, the 12 yards. 18, 22. Be by yourself when that ball comes to you. Basically get open. That's how I broke the lineup.
I love that. And then,
And I wanted to be in the lineup too.
and then you won Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I did.
And then you made the Pro Bowl, All-Pro, Rookie year, and
Yes, I
your
did.
second year.
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy. I know these boys are itching to ask some questions. They both lifted up their mic. Go ahead.
They're ready, huh?
Yeah, so I just wanted to ask, how you think you would have done with a pass-happy league that it is now? Because at that time, it wasn't
And I'll
as...
probably still be playing, man.
Yeah, all right,
You know
good.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean,
One of your vet.
Look, man, we did not throw the ball.
No.
You got me? We did not throw the ball. I was with Terry Bradshaw maybe about a month ago at Mel Blunt's thing. In Super Bowl IX, do you know how many times they threw the football in that game? 11.
And yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
They threw the ball 11 times in Super Bowl IX, or 13.
Casey would have ate.
I mean, but we ran the football. And as wide receivers under Chuck, if you didn't block,
You ain't play.
you didn't play,
Yeah.
period. And we had a lot of guys that didn't like the block. You know, Chuck used to nickname us China dolls. You know how you stand out there like this?
Yeah, he received.
He used to call us China dolls. So we kind of took that to heart, you know. So we just, as a group of receivers, man, we made a pact that every time they called the passing play, somebody gonna be open. Because we want them to call that play again.
Yeah.
That's what we had to do in order to get the ball thrown to us.
That's cool.
All that ranting and raving, throwing helmets and jumping over the bench and all that. You didn't get no balls.
If you
Now,
were
you
power,
ranting and raving, you guess what? You set your ass on the bench.
Yeah, even with that, you still managed. I'm looking at your stats right now. You got over 1,100 yards off of 59 catches, which is crazy.
Crazy.
But I think the most important one, and this is a story I heard doing some research on
Per
yourself.
catch.
Right, that's crazy. It's 20 yards per catch. You don't see that often.
You don't see
But the one catch I want to talk to you about. So apparently you caught a touchdown with the ball in your face mask.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, can you explain that to me? Because I'm trying to process that and how that
How do
happened.
you do that?
I couldn't find a video.
Look, I can still look at the film now and don't know how that happened. You know, but the only
Go
thing
through it.
The only thing I can tell you is that I wanted the ball more than he did. You know,
Sounds
and
like
I was
it.
gonna catch that son of a bitch any kind of way I could. We ain't on ABC or CBS, so.
this ain't live. Don't worry about it.
I got a question though.
But I mean, that was the thing, man. I mean, if the ball is up, it's mine. If I don't get it, ain't nobody getting it.
Right.
That's how we got the ball thrown to us, man.
How did it happen, though? Are you, like, looking over your shoulder and it comes down? Is it a bullet that you're, like, going like this for? How did that?
I don't know how I did that, man.
You don't even know.
I don't know. I didn't
crazy.
plan on that happening, but that's the way it happened.
That's probably the only touchdown that's ever been caught in a face mask ever. I've never seen that ever happen.
Now
So
look, you look at these hands.
I was looking at that. I ain't gonna lie.
You see these hands?
yeah,
sir.
yeah.
I had to go get it wherever it was.
Yeah.
Whether it was a good pass, bad pass, you had to go get it. If you wanted to get another one, you had to go get it. If you don't
mask
go
and
get
all.
it, guess what? They ain't throwing it your way no more.
Absolutely.
Bottom line.
See, now my next question is, you guys both played at the top of your game, right? You, for where you were during your era, you're considered an undersized lineman. You hear now a lot about Aaron Donald, right? And him being undersized, the first to ever do it. But then you look at you and what you've really done in your career. I want to ask you, what's the difference between the game then and the game now for your position?
I think the biggest difference is that they throw the ball so much. I mean, they throw the ball 40, 50 times a game. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that like in my day, the AFC North, we was smash mouth football. You know what I mean? We had Jamal Lewis, you know, and Corey Dillon. You know what I mean? We had like big backs, man, like Rudy Johnson. You know what I mean? We had like it was like everybody trying to impose their will on each other. It wasn't no throwing the ball and all that, man. It was we gonna run the ball, and can you stop it? It was, and that's just what it was. You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest difference, man. it's like it's just a passing league now. It's a finesse game. It ain't no power game no more.
Right.
With when you were playing and you said everybody was just trying to run the ball and play bully ball, did your defense take that personally at times? Like, why would you try to run on that Steelers defense? Like, would you guys take that personally?
Man, we wanted that. Like that's like we feel like you're not gonna. When I'm back in them days, man, we were either number 1, top 5 every year, all the time, like no doubt. Like our mentality was so crazy. It's like we'll run goal line against the offense. They'll run the ball, we'll stop them again. They'll throw the ball and score a touchdown, and we be like, yeah, but you can't run it in here. But they still scored a touchdown. That's our mentality. Like, you can score, but you're not going to run it up in here. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's mentally, like, we feel like you just can't, you're not supposed to be able to run the ball on us.
Yeah, 'cause I hear Coach T, I'm obviously not on a defense or nothing, but he's always picking at people, especially on a defense. Like, if they run the ball in, offense gets steak dinner, steak and lobster at Latrobe, which isn't, prime steak and lobster, but it still gets steak and lobster.
He ain't make them type of propositions with us because they wasn't running. It wasn't even accomplished. They wasn't doing nothing on us, so he wouldn't do that. They wasn't gonna run the ball on us at all, so it wasn't even happening.
So you guys, you should have been playing in that era, these eras right here.
Yeah, right.
Seriously, it was because it's so.
I would have loved it.
It's so different now. Like you said, they're throwing the ball 50 times a game. The clock stopped so much, the games got longer.
Lewis had 1,800 yards.
More probably.
So he had the question. He asked me like, could I play? I said, well, I'll still be playing.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
They play when we play.
No. Who'd they get?
Mecca.
One of the wideouts we were looking
Ohio
at.
State.
And so can
Could they play when we play?
Yeah.
hell no.
Our bump and run was way different than 5 yards. They beating you up all the way down.
The whole way. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
when we played we played the Raiders, like Mike Haynes and Lester Hayes,
Oh yeah.
Hanford Dixon, Minifield, Everson Walls. Them boys played man-to-man all day long. And I learned this from Stahl. That's what we want. We want man-to-man coverage. Because guess what? You the only one I got to beat. I know where I'm going. You don't know where I'm going. So now I got to make that happen. As opposed to zone, now you got to know where the safety at. You got to know where the linebacker at. You got to know if the defensive end dropping. Now you got to find a hole and maneuver. Man-to-man, it's just me and you, bro.
So with that being said, then, like, obviously the game's evolved, and you could both touch on this. Like, now we do see, like, defensive ends dropping or like a two technique dropping sometimes and kind of playing like a middle rover. Like, how do you see that fit if they were trying to do that back then? Like, if they were trying to do that stuff,
We were fire zone.
you're running bogus.
We were doing that. Like me and Hokie, we were dropping in zone and all that. Come on, man. You can't be from Pittsburgh. Don't remember the fire zone drops and all that.
We still run dog
So that's not a nose tag. You never seen me drop back in the day?
Hell no, not you, but I've seen. No, hell no, I never seen you.
Watch your film. You can't be a true fan. You never see me get in that hook zone.
You were in a hook zone?
Hey, look, check it out.
You was
Got
in the
back
hook
there
zone.
and look good doing it too, though.
I gotta
Got my
see it.
hand.
We had that happen in the playoff game we played in Denver. We was playing in Denver. Our nose guard had an interception.
Oh, wow.
Our nose guard had an interception.
You have any picks in your career?
Nah, man, not a pick guy.
Not a pick.
Hands is not my thing.
No?
So I do want to ask you guys this with some of the stats that these guys in these the combines are putting up. So specifically at the D tackle position for yourself, there's a guy named Desmond Watson. He's 6'6", 464, runs a 5.93 40. And then as you can see, the wide receivers right now, everybody's running a 4.4, 4.3. These ridiculous.
You say what?
Desmond Watson, 6'6", 464.
464?
Yes,
464, yes, 464, but running a 5.93, and they converted that to what he would be running if he was like, let's say, a smaller size. They're saying he'd run like a 3.8 with the torque and power that he used to run that. I don't know what your 40 time is. I don't want to put you on the spot, but these numbers are crazy. So what do you guys think when you're seeing these combine results for everybody's running a 4.4? You got guys that are 6'6", 464. Like,
Well-
what is that like? Athletes are getting crazy.
Well, I wasn't that fast. I was, I don't know, 4.5, 4.58, something like that.
That's fast. Let's be real.
But
Yeah.
it's the way you use your speed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, man, we had a guy, and I'm sure you guys remember, a guy named Dwight Stone. We moved him from running back to wide receiver because this ball was so damn fast.
Yeah.
He was so fast he couldn't stop.
Oh, that's crazy.
We had to teach him how to stop.
Yeah.
That's how fast he was.
Yeah.
He was running so fast, man. He was turning the bend, and he was running so fast he couldn't even turn. He ran straight out of bounds.
Right.
And he had 10 yards in front of him, nobody.
He just couldn't figure it
He
out.
couldn't turn. He couldn't make the turn and ran right out of bounds.
Just streaks.
But it's just the way you use your speed.
Right.
You know? With the boy, Ronaldo Nehemiah, remember him? From the 49ers?
Ooh, okay.
Track star.
Yeah.
He could run a straight line,
Right.
Can't
but that
count
was
him.
it. You know, you can run him deep, but you can't run nothing else.
Right.
I think the training's so crazy right now, man.
Right.
I think, man, guys are fast, man, but they're getting them ready, getting them training. I think that it's so overrated. You know what I mean? Can you run that 4.2 and pass? That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that combine 40 time is good. It looked good, but I think, man, they should make them run with all their pads on.
I agree.
And then that's a better gauge of what they can do on the field. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know,
Go ahead, Louis.
because I'm sorry.
You're good.
I can remember, man, when we went to the combine. I don't know, you remember Ice Cube?
Yeah.
Ice Cube and Bruce Davis came from Baylor. Them boys was running like 4.2s. I mean, low 4.2s, right? And the thing about when them boys running 4.2s like that is like, that's all they could do. They couldn't do nothing else. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't do nothing else.
We got our
We're about to
our
come
picks
up.
Coming up next. Our picks coming up.
See what's about to happen.
We're about to go crazy.
I gotta ask. Are y'all ready for our draft pick? Nah. Y'all better get louder than that. Y'all ready for our draft pick?
Who we got?
Here we go!
Who we got?
Let's watch after this pick. You know who's up.
Here he come! Uh-oh!
Let's go, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's how we feel. That's crazy.
Wow.
Let's go.
See some
pick.
film.
Casey, how do you feel about this one?
Man, he coming to the right situation.
Yes.
Pittsburgh is, if you play D tackle, D line, you know, coming behind and learning behind Cam, a guy like that, man, he's coming into a perfect situation. Dunbar, excellent coach.
Yes.
I mean, the culture of the D lineman here and just the defense, hey, man, and he's a player.
Yeah,
I was talking to Dunbar earlier, briefly. I had just kind of seen him, and he said he had liked that guy, like the guy from Oregon and the guy from Michigan. And
Wow.
he fell to him.
Wow.
Let's go, dude.
Look at all of them up there.
That's
See
awesome.
when he gets
Look
his
at that.
call. I want to see when he already got
Love
this.
that.
That's like Hamp said, man. I mean, that's a perfect opportunity for him.
Oh yeah.
Same like me coming in when Stahl was there.
He's coming in with
Now
Cam.
He got Cam. You
And you-
understand? If he come in with the right attitude, man, that boy can be a beast.
Yeah, he can.
He
And you
expected
guys-
to be
He can be a beast.
he expected
Oh, yeah.
to be what everything. Yeah.
No.
You guys speak on that moment. We just saw like a life-changing opportunity for somebody. You get to see the raw emotion live. It hits home better because, you know, Steelers fans here, but we get to see a life change, a whole family, generations. Like, what does that moment feel like, you both being first-round draft picks?
Man, look, I mean, it just totally just blew my mind. Because when I came out of the Senior Bowl, they told me early second, mid, late third round. That's what they told me. So that's what I was expecting. Now, when we came out, the draft started like 7 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, wow.
I was up like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
I knew I wasn't gonna be the first one drafted, but it's just that way. And then I came out, and I was the 3rd ranked receiver in the country.
Wow.
Not because of my receptions, but because I can return punts and kicks. I was the 3rd ranked.
That's crazy.
Irvin Fryer went first, Kenny Jackson
Ooh.
went 4th or 3rd. So now that's 1 and 2 gone, and they ain't even got to the 5th pick yet. So now my
Crazy.
knees are really kicking, knocking together. You know, and I ended up going 23rd, but I had no clue I was going to be a first-round draft choice.
I feel like these dudes have a better understanding of where they're going now than
Well, I had a different experience than him because like Cowher and my D-line coach, Coach Mitch, had came to Texas when we had worked out there, and Cowher had told my agent that if I was there when they picked, they were going to pick me, and it came to be true. I remember Cowher actually calling. I forget what I went 19. I think I went 19. You know, I can't remember it too well, but I went 19, man. But I remember it was on like the 15th pick or so, 16th pick, and nobody had called or whatever. And Cowher had called and asked any team had called, and I told them the team that was right before their pick had my agent was talking to them, and they pulled because they had traded back. The Steelers had traded back once already. It was their pick, and they had traded back. Wow. You know what I mean? Because they knew they had wanted me. They probably didn't feel like I was going to go that high. But when he called again, I was like, yeah, the team that's right in front of you, my agent's talking to him.
so there is a little like cat and mouse. Those games being played like.
Oh, no doubt.
Even in today, you got to feel like there's games being played between the agents and the GMs a little bit. That's crazy. Because I didn't know. I obviously was not drafted, so I didn't go to like.
Hey, man, everybody's journey is different, baby. It ain't how you get there. It's what you do when you get there, baby.
And that's what's great about an NFL locker room, and I know you guys miss it.
All them guys got clean slates now.
And you say, oh, they didn't do.
All the rest of that stuff is, you know.
Yeah, we don't. No one at this point. No one cares what they did in college. When they get here, it's like,
all what you do from here on
what are you
out.
about to do now?
Yeah, how can you help the team, man? That's what it's all about, man. That's what make the NFL and that locker room so sacred, so good, man. Like everybody's equal. Ain't nobody above nobody.
Right.
I know when I was there, that's how it was. You know, I haven't been in the locker room a long time, but I know like nobody was bigger than nobody. Everybody was held to the same standard. Everybody was like the same, man, and that's what made us so great. That nobody was bigger than nobody, no matter who you were.
And you said that, dude, and they, Beanie called out our strength staff. He said that they are like our unsung heroes, and I said like everybody in that building's in it together to win. Like if we do bad, they do bad, and they're out too. I don't think people understand that. Like the trainers can get fired because we don't win.
Absolutely.
Everybody could lose their job in there.
Man, they don't imagine the type of stress that I know Cowher for sure put on those trainers to get guys out there, get them playing when they're hurting, things like that. Man, those guys under a whole lot of stress, a whole lot of pressure, more than what people would ever think.
Everybody got pressure in that, but I don't think anyone. We gotta get Casey to sign that.
They want to do the last signature on here, and then we're gonna raffle this thing off and give it away to somebody. And
Let's get Casey's signature
you're
on
the
there.
last one to sign it here.
I mean,
And then,
hold
hey,
that
Chris, look here. So the fourth
right by your picture.
the 4th ranked receiver in the country when I came out in 1984, he went before me.
He went before
He went
you.
19th, I went 23rd. And he was the 4th rank, I was the 3rd. Isn't that crazy?
It is a crazy process. Like no one understands. Like I feel like the GMs don't know who they're taking until it comes full circle and their picks in.
I don't know what they saw in me, man, but they saw something. I didn't
Clearly
even see
saw
myself.
something, bro.
You know what I'm saying? And
I see your name up on the.
I thank him for that, man. I thank him for that opportunity.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean,
That was a blessing.
yeah, it's been an honor to have you on here. I
man.
could get on here and we could chop it up all day. I know.
Yeah.
I know we got to raffle this painting off. So if you were in on this raffle for the painting, let's get this number going here. Let's see what we got. We got a lot of tickets in here.